One of the jobs on the list that I'm going to share with you today has openings sitting empty for almost 2 months at a time. And it's not because the pay is bad, it's because almost nobody thinks to apply for it. And that's not the only one. There are 9 industries right now that are so short-staffed, they've changed how they hire. Fewer interview rounds, paid training instead of years of experience required, and in some cases, a same-week start date. And I'm going to walk you through all 9 of these jobs, plus the specific sourced reason each one is struggling to fill seats so you know exactly where to look instead of guessing. And if you find these types of videos useful, please go ahead and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this video reach more people who need to see it. And quick disclaimer, every pay figure you see on screen in this video comes from real sources like the Bureau of Labor Statistics, ZipRecruiter, PayScale, and more. And these pay ranges are just averages, they are not guarantees. And they change depending on where you live and what experience you bring to the table. Watching this video does not guarantee you a job or income. You're also probably not going to qualify for every single role on this list, and that's completely normal. So please always do your research and double check current openings and requirements before you apply, because postings and pay change all the time. All right, first up, we've got AI training and content evaluator work. Companies like Apin and TELUS International hire regular people to rate search results, review chatbot answers, and label data so AI systems learn what a good response looks like versus a bad one. And here's why this is in demand. The global data annotation and labeling market is projected to more than quadruple in size over the next few years, growing at a compound annual rate above 33% according to Markets and Markets. That growth needs actual human eyeballs because AI companies cannot fully automate the process of judging their own AI's output. Now, here's why most people never find this one. It doesn't show up when you search online jobs. It shows up when you search Search Engine Evaluator or AI Rater. So most job seekers scroll right past it. Qualification happens through a short online test, and onboarding is paid. And I'll put some of the current pay averages up on the screen for you. Now, the skills you'll need are strong reading comprehension, the ability to follow detailed written guidelines exactly, and being comfortable working independently without a supervisor checking in on you constantly. Now, for an opportunity score, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. Getting started is genuinely accessible, but the trade-off is the work availability can fluctuate depending on which projects are active. Now, to get started, you can try Apin and TELUS International's career pages, create a profile, and complete their qualification assessment. And I get it, looking for a job can feel like its own full-time job. And that's why I put together a free list of the top 100 companies that hire for online jobs, so you're not stuck guessing which companies are actually hiring. And I'll drop that link below in the description for you so you can download it. All right, the next one is a role most companies are quietly begging to fill, and most people don't even know this one exists. I'm talking about live chat and customer support agents. E-commerce brands need people answering customer questions through text chat and email, helping with order issues, returns, and account questions. And here's why this one fills fast. Call center and customer support turnover runs between 40 and 45% a year, according to recent call center research from Jiva. That means these teams are constantly replacing people, not occasionally. And here's the best part most people miss. Because turnover is this high, companies have built fast onboarding specifically so they're not left short-staffed. Usually 1 to 2 weeks of virtual training instead of the typical long ramp-up period. And I'll put up some of the current pay averages on the screen now so you can take a look. And the skills you'll need are clear written communication, patience with frustrated people, and the ability to multitask across chat, email, and sometimes phone. For an opportunity score, I give this one a 7 out of 10. It's generally one of the more accessible remote roles out there, but the trade-off is dealing with upset customers day in and day out. To get started, search remote live chat agent or e-commerce customer support directly on a company's career page rather than a generic job board, since a lot of these postings can get buried. And speaking of jobs where the training is basically handed to you, our next one might have the shortest path from application to job offer on this entire list. I'm talking about data entry specialist. Businesses need someone to type information into spreadsheets and databases, things like customer records, inventory counts, or survey responses. And here's why it's in demand. Office and administrative support roles as a category still generate about 2 million job openings a year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Most of them from people leaving the workforce or moving to other roles, which means companies are constantly refilling these seats. And here's why it's underrated. A lot of these postings get screened with a typing speed test instead of a multi-round interview process. So the path from application to job offer is unusually short compared to most office jobs. And I'll put up some of the recent pay averages on the screen so you can take a look. Now, the skills you'll need are accurate typing, of course, comfort with spreadsheet software like Excel or Google Sheets, and the patience to stay focused on repetitive work. For an opportunity score, I'll give this one a 7 out of 10 for the ease of getting your foot in the door. But I'll be honest, the ceiling on pay growth here is lower than some of the other jobs on the list. Now, to get started, search company career pages directly for data entry specialist or data entry clerk and expect a short typing or accuracy assessment as part of the process. Now, if you found these first 3 jobs helpful, that's basically what I built my whole channel around, finding the roles that don't get talked about. And our next one might be the fastest application to offer timeline on this entire list. I'm talking about medical and dental front desk representative. Small independent clinics need someone to answer phones, greet patients, and manage the day-to-day schedule. And here's why it's in demand. 42% of dental practices had at least one unfilled front desk position this past year, according to Dental Economics annual staffing survey. And those front desk vacancies are now taking 45 to 60 days to fill, nearly double what it used to take. And here's why it's underrated. Most people assume you need medical billing experience or certification to work a front desk, but a lot of small independently owned practices train you on their scheduling and billing systems directly on the job, specifically because they can't afford to wait for someone who's fully qualified. And I'll put up some of the current pay averages on the screen for you now. Now, the skills you'll need are a friendly phone presence, comfortable multitasking between patients in front of you and on the phone, and basic computer skills. I give this one an opportunity score of 7 out of 10. It's steady, front-facing work, and for the trade-off, it's usually working in person rather than remotely. Now, to get started, skip the big corporate hospital systems and apply directly to independent local clinics and dental offices, since that's where the vacancy rate is highest and the hiring process is usually the shortest. And speaking of jumping into a new field without needing a degree first, I want to tell you about the online training program I recommend to all of my subscribers. It's called Course Careers, and they offer free intro courses in fields like IT help desk, tech sales, and cybersecurity. It is a great way to see which one is a right fit for you before committing to anything, and there's no experience or degree required. I'll put a link below in the description and in the pinned comment so you can learn more. And speaking of jobs where a company will basically train you from scratch because they have no other choice, this next one might be the most in-demand job on the entire list. Number 5 is home health and personal care aides. Now, this role means helping elderly or disabled clients with daily living tasks like meals, mobility, bathing, and companionship. And here's why it's in demand. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects this occupation will grow 17% over the next decade, with about 765,000 job openings projected every single year. That is one of the fastest growth rates of any occupation the Bureau of Labor Statistics tracks. Here's why it's underrated. Most agencies provide the required certification course for free during your first week. So the barrier people assume exists, needing a certification before you can apply, usually isn't there. And I'll put up some of the current pay averages on the screen for you so you guys can take a look. And the skills you'll need to do this, probably the biggest one is patience, physical stamina, and being comfortable with hands-on personal care. This one is emotionally and physically demanding work, so it's not for everybody. And I'm not going to pretend that it is. I'll give this one an opportunity score of 8 out of 10 because of the demand and accessibility, but the honest trade-off is the pay ceiling is modest and the work itself can be draining. To get started, apply directly with home care agencies in your area. Now, most of these will walk you through their free certification process as part of onboarding, but always do your research and check with the company first. And if that one feels too physically demanding, wait till you hear how badly hotels need help keeping up too. Number 6 is hotel housepersons and environmental services. This role covers maintaining cleanliness in hotels and commercial buildings. Think guest rooms, common areas, and event spaces. And here's why it's in demand. According to the American Hotel and Lodging Association, 65% of surveyed hotels are still reporting staffing shortages, and housekeeping is the single most frequently cited shortage, named by 38% of hotels as their toughest role to fill. And here's why it fills fast: because unclean rooms literally cannot be sold. Hotels treat these openings as urgent, and in some cases, properties process applications and get people shadowing senior staff within 24 to 48 hours. And I'll throw up some of the current pay averages on the screen for you now. Now, the skills you'll need are physical stamina, attention to detail, and the ability to work efficiently on your feet for an entire shift. For an opportunity score, give this one a 7 out of 10 for how fast you can get hired, but the pay ceiling here stays fairly flat unless you move into a supervisor role. Now, to get started, apply directly through hotel career pages or in person at the front desk. A lot of properties will do a same week interview given how urgent the need is. And if you like how physical that one was, wait until you hear about the next category because it's basically the backbone of everything you order online. Number 7 is warehouse order selectors and packers. This is pulling and packing retail items for shipment, usually guided by a handheld scanner or headset that tells you exactly what to grab and where it goes. And here's why it's in demand. 78% of warehouse and distribution facilities report significant difficulty hiring and retaining staff. And nearly 500,000 warehouse and logistics jobs are sitting open across the country right now, according to a recent industry report from Supply Chain Source. And here's why these roles fill fast. Distribution centers run mass hiring events and online rapid hire portals that skip the traditional multi-round interview entirely. Sometimes you can apply and start within the same week. And in some cases, any required forklift or machinery training is paid and happens on site. And I'll throw up some of the recent salary averages on the screen for you now. Now, the skills you'll need to do this are, of course, physical stamina, since you are on your feet and walking a lot of the shift. Plus, basic comfort with a scanner or handheld devices and the ability to hit accuracy and speed benchmarks. For an opportunity score, give this one an 8 out of 10 for sheer volume of openings. But overnight and weekend shifts are common, so definitely factor that in. To get started, you can apply directly on the career sites of major distribution and logistics companies in your area. And keep an eye out for local hiring events because they do move fast. And that's actually the whole point of jobs like this one. You don't need a background in it to get started. That's the same reason I keep pointing people towards course careers. No degree, no classroom needed, and you can try one of their free intro courses in fields like IT, tech sales, and cybersecurity before deciding if it's worth going any further. I'll put a link below in the description and in the pinned comments so you can learn more. Number 8, local moving and general laborers. This means helping commercial or residential moving crews load, transport, and unload furniture, boxes, and inventory. And here's why it's in demand. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects about 1 million openings every single year for hand laborers and material movers, a category that includes local movers, mostly because so many workers transfer out or leave the workforce entirely. Here's why it fills so fast. Independent, family-owned moving companies frequently hire walk-in candidates on the spot to fill same-day or same-week gaps, especially during busy moving seasons. And the training is hands-on, working directly alongside an experienced crew leader. And I'll put up some of the recent pay averages on the screen for you now. Now, the skills you'll need are physical strength and the ability to lift and carry safely, and being comfortable taking direction as part of a small team. I'll give this one an opportunity score of 7 out of 10. It's genuinely accessible and the demand is massive. But this is hard physical work, so keep that in mind before applying. To get started, look up independent local moving companies rather than the big national chains. And don't be afraid to just walk in and ask if they're hiring. Now, this next one might surprise you because it pays better than most people expect. I'm talking about commercial vehicle delivery drivers. This is operating non-CDL box trucks or delivery vans for regional logistics companies. So you are driving, but you don't need a commercial driver's license for most of these routes. Here's why it's in demand. Non-CDL box truck drivers handle 68% of all last mile deliveries in the country, according to the American Transportation Research Institute. And fleet companies are constantly trying to keep pace with online order volume. And here's why it fills fast, because a CDL or commercial driver's license isn't required. And fleet companies host weekly mass hiring events specifically to get drivers on the road quickly. And defensive driving courses plus handheld scanner trainings are fully paid as part of the onboarding process. And I'll put up some of the recent pay averages on the screen for you now. Now, the skills you'll need are a clean driving record, comfort driving a larger vehicle than a regular car, and basic navigation and scanner skills. I'll give this one an opportunity score of 8 out of 10. The pay is genuinely solid for a role that doesn't require a commercial license, and the trade-off is you are on your feet loading and unloading in addition to driving all day. To get started, look for a non-CDL delivery driver or post-truck driver postings directly through regional logistics and fleet companies. Now, none of these jobs are guaranteed and none of them are going to happen overnight, but every single one of them is a door that's more open right now than the ones everybody else is knocking on. And that's just the jobs where you're showing up in person. There's a whole separate list of remote roles that companies are struggling just as bad to fill for reasons that have nothing to do with your resume and everything to do with where they're posting and who's actually looking. That's exactly what I talk about in my next video up here. The remote side of the same problem and why almost nobody is applying for them is actually good news for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.